Me as a person, I have to be more outgoing, and I have to be the one that instigates speaking to the other people.
I thought like Stanford International University is a cosmopolitan mix with a lot of cultural, with a lot of students from another country.
International students, so here we have a lot of international culture.
Look, I think it's a great thing. To my knowledge, it is one of the most culturally diverse, if not the most culturally diverse universities in Thailand.
More diverse groups of students from many countries, even if it's majorly Asian countries, I still see a lot of students from the West as well, like Europe and America. So I myself think it's actually quite diverse.
And my name is Nanshun Ching, and my major is IHM, and I'm Chinese.
When I am a marketing major here at Stanford, and I'm from Germany.
Badin Phat Ngam Pradit. My nickname is and then I came from Nakhon Si Thammarat in the south of Thailand.
My name is Peter. I teach at Stanford in the LEP. I'm Australian.
My name is Rachat Rangposamrit, and I'm a part-time lecturer here. So I'm
So here we have a lot of international culture. Like I'm from Chinese, and my friends come from like Russian and have Thai friends together,
Which is interesting, but I feel like all the people from their respective countries, they all stay in their own groups. Like mostly Thai people hang out with Thai people, Chinese hang out with Chinese, and then we have that small mixture of like international Western people who are kind of like forced into like the same group.
Cosmopolitan mix with a lot of cultural, with a lot of students from another country, and I could learn English and then get better.
To my knowledge, it is one of the most culturally diverse, if not the most culturally diverse universities in Thailand. And I think this is a great opportunity for especially Thai students, but other students as well, to get to know people from other cultures, to get to know them firsthand and ask them questions. And rather than relying on the media and movies and various other sources, they can get information and understanding.
myself think it's actually quite diverse compared to many other international programs that I've experienced. Myself went to Thammasat University International Program, and I can see the difference that over here you have more diverse groups of students from many countries.
learn feel from them because the different culture from the different places was quite unique. So you can learn a lot of information inside, like the hobby, like the language. It's really interesting for me.
What I've learned from this is that me as a person, I have to be more outgoing, and I have to be the one that instigates speaking to the other people. Because if I don't, nobody's going to approach me from different groups.
Small cultural family, everyone know each other very easy, and then very easy to learn each other culture, traditional. We can track standard behavior from each country. Example like China, they are always talking very long. Or Russia, people is a lot too in our university, and sometimes they are, Russia people they are nice normally. And is it good thing to learn we call cross-cultural? That is a good that we learn each other because we are in international university.
We often learn about the differences between us, the differences between people from other cultures. But in the LEP, there are 19 different nationalities. And one big lesson I've got out of that is that despite coming from so many different cultures, we are a very tightly knit team and we all have a common understanding. After being in a team for some time, I often do forget that we come from all different parts of the world because we all share the same objective. We are all professional teachers. So I guess in a way, we come from everywhere, but we all speak the same language.
When I teach finance, it's actually quite useful because sometimes you need to give example, and if you give example and then the examples are more hands-on, students can relate, why the interest rate in Russia is so high or why the interest rate in Nepal is very high when the interest rate in Thailand is very low. So I think it's very interesting.
Because it's really funny. It's really fun. You can learn a lot of information, and I think it's quite enough for us to study the different culture here.
I wouldn't say I'd be interested in an exhibition. We've had a cultural day before here, and even though it was interesting, it didn't really teach me about anything new. And I mean, I ate the food, but it was also something that I think we would need more than just that. It wasn't really educational.
Didn't feel any interesting at all because it is not for learning. I thought it's just for business or something like that. So I don't like this kind of thing because here we are in university. It should be something for learn or to know something different, to know in different thing, not just business.
Yes, I think exhibitions are great. However, are exhibitions alone enough to learn about cultural diversity? No. They may show some external elements of culture, such as what people eat, how they dress. But I think to really understand a culture, you need to go deeper. You should understand fundamental values that guide people's behaviours, that determine people's understanding of right and wrong. And I think that is crucial if we are going to interact with people from other cultures.
I never attended any particular exhibition, but I do see when students have booths and all that downstairs, and I can tell that it's quite interesting. You do see different themes and all that.
On some event, we don't feel the connection between the different people and the culture. It's kind of weird, especially for the fresh people, the first year student, especially the first year Chinese student, because or maybe not first year, maybe they are just studying the language program. No, so they don't have too much knowledge for the English skill. So maybe they cannot have this communication with different people, so that should be the problem. So maybe our school can change a little bit about it.
I would say like we don't actually need to have any facility or exhibition for this. I think people just need to start getting out of their comfort zones and just learn to walk up to somebody and talk to them, and also to be more patient with people who are not as good at English. And I also think it's important for people who are in Thailand to learn Thai to some extent, because when you do travel to another country, it is polite to learn to speak basics.
We just need someone who like treat us and then make it like family, and the cultural in universities will be like very great.
Often when I see exhibitions, they are facilitated by students who come from the particular culture that is being exhibited. I think what could be a very good learning experience is if one person from a given culture actually worked with students from outside that culture to facilitate the exhibition. So, for example, there will be an exhibition about, for example, Chinese food, Chinese calligraphy, but most of the members who participated in setting up this exhibition were not Chinese. However, they were guided by one Chinese member of the group. So that way, the other members get to learn a lot about that culture, because they have to share it. Even though it's not their culture, they will have to share it with other students.
Let's separate into two scenarios. The first one is what can a lecturer contribute in the class to promote cultural understanding and cultural diversities. I usually ask students to give examples like what happens in their own countries, so that students from other countries can learn the difference between, let's say, Thailand and Russia and the US and so on. And in terms of activities, I'm not really sure about that, but maybe a kind of like cultural night or something. I think, the opportunity to force students to mingle with each other more, like, maybe the food from their countries, or the dresses, and so that at least you initiate some sort of conversation to make sure they share why their cultures are different.